Hey Taurus, I'm Lucy Ravenstone and welcome to my channel. I'm going to do a reading for you, just a 3-card reading for Mercury in retrograde for May 22. So Mercury in retrograde, what is that? So Mercury in retrograde is basically when the planet Mercury is orbiting the Sun and it appears to us to be coming back upon itself. It's just an optical illusion. It doesn't really come back and go do this, but it looks like it's moving away from us basically. And the energy that we're working with is often stronger. So the Mercury is the planet of communication. So during this time you may get miscommunications, interruptions of anything in regards of communication, so electronics, mail, anything that needs a decision, contracts, things like that. Things that are really, communicative and that involve us wanting things to go smoothly or perhaps not to go smoothly. Now, it can feel like Mercury is often a kind of a mischief planet, and actually it's not. And I often say, the way I describe it is that Mercury is like the best friend you have that tells you as it is rather than just tells you what you want to hear. And that's because things that come up during this time, during a Mercury in retrograde, it's things that are really kind of productive to us in the sense of it brings things to the surface, it helps us kind of see what needs to change, and I do think sometimes in the miscommunication it's perhaps sometimes as well that we need to slow down. It really just highlights things going on in our life that kind of needs some attention. So really that is kind of a like, oh, for God's sake, Mercury kind of moment. And people dread the Mercury in retrograde, but it actually can be a really good tool to work with once you start seeing the energies for what they are. Things that you have been suppressing or perhaps things you have been missing, it can really be a really good tool, especially when miscommunication comes up, when people start communicating with you and showing kind of certain colors. It's kind of, triggering things that you kind of need to see that perhaps you've been avoiding seeing or perhaps has been hidden to you. So I actually do feel like Mercury is that best friend that you've been avoiding. So anyway, let's jump right in. Let's see what is in store for us, Taurus, for Mercury in retrograde season. I am kind of feeling like it's not, I don't know why, I feel like it's not going to be too bad for me, and I'm really hoping I'm not just being delusional because it's my birthday tomorrow when I'm recording this, and I do feel like I get this kind of May's my month kind of vibe because of being a Taurus, and it being Taurus season. But I do feel like it's not going to be too bad. So I'm hoping I'm on the right track there, because I've had a up and down with all these retrogrades in the beginning of the year, and Pluto's just gone retrograde as of yesterday, day before yesterday. So we do have quite a few retrograding planets over these last few years. Obviously the larger planets retrograde for a lot longer. Mercury is from the 10th of May till the 2nd of June. So Mercury in retrograde happens more often because it's a smaller planet, it's closer to the Sun, so obviously it's orbiting a lot quicker than other planets. So the energy we're working with is quick and fast, which is why it kind of disrupts us a lot. I find that the larger planets, they do cause their own kind of dramas, i.e. Mars in retrograde is a lot more, we may get a lot of collisions, a lot of anger, a lot of kind of can't think of the word, confrontations, but it's kind of, I feel like, more productive in the sense that it builds up because it's of its vast largeness. I just feel like it's something that builds and you can go through and work through. Mercury in retrograde is kind of like a slap on the face and you're like, whoa, what's happening, and jumps you into it. I don't know, that's just how I'm sort of vibing the energies in the way. It obviously affects everybody differently. Anyway, so the first one we have, Taurus, is patience reversed. Interesting. So I do feel like we have been tested, Taurus, this year, like as in with our patience, we're being told to be patient. Now, I am not overly patient. I am an Aries moon. So when I have to be patient or I'm being told to be patient, it's very much like, oh, really? And I feel like this is sort of, I feel like we're coming through the tunnel here of it kind of all paying off actually in a good way, but you may find that certain things do come to the surface in areas where you do need patience or where you have been being patient. It may now be the time. So I feel like there's two ways to this, because I feel like for some of us Taurus, this may bring things to the surface to show you the areas where you need to be more patient, but I also feel like it will just bring things forward where it's time now to act upon the things you've been patient for, or may just kind of shine light on those things that have required patience or do need patience. Now I'm getting both coming at me, but I do feel, I'll show you the imagery of this card. We are reversed in how it's showing me. And I feel like we're coming through a tunnel, and this is what I mean by it just kind of shining light on it, because I do feel like we're in it still, but it's kind of like we are focused on the other side. So I do feel like patience is needed to sort of gain clarity, and I feel like this is what it's doing. It's gaining clarity on something that has needed or is coming to an end now, this patient sort of time. So the time to act is coming near. So I do feel like anything that comes up in regard to needing your patience or taking it slow, taking it easy, something where you've had to go kind of different to your usual flow, I would say. I feel like it will come to the surface and help you kind of see. And I want to show you, I feel like it may bring up a red flag. There's a red balloon here and it's giving me red flag vibes. So I feel like something will flag up specifically in regard to needing to take it easy and be patient. But I am seeing as well, we have the full moon. Now full moon is coming in, I think it comes sort of within the middle of Mercury in retrograde. I'm not 100% sure on that one. We just had new moon. Yeah, so we're coming into the beginning of it, because we're in the shadow of Mercury in retrograde right now on the 1st or the 2nd. I think we're on the 2nd of May. Yeah, it's my birthday tomorrow. We're on the 2nd of May and we're in the shadow of it now. So you may be feeling like slight little build up of things. But to me, I feel like this is actually, I'm sensing it more in myself and how I am kind of communicating. So be aware of that. I feel like shadow does that more. It makes me more aware of how I am feeling either insecurities, or I'm communicating in a way where I'm feeling like, hang on, this is not really myself, if that makes sense for you. But anyway, so be aware of the red flags that are coming up. I feel like something to do with the full moon is in this, because again, the vision is, and it feels like clarity around that time. So I definitely feel like Mercury retrograding is going to give you clarity on something, and that's going to be the gift here. I am really drawn as well to, again, we have hot moon at the end of this, and I'm drawn to the full moons. I feel like this is going to be specific for us Taurus around that time. Okay. The next card is balance, and it is going to help us to create a balance. And I am getting the same vibe that I've been feeling for myself, that Mercury in retrograde for us this year is not going to be too tricky. It is literally just giving us things to kind of pay attention to. And this balance card is giving me full moon energy again. The full moon is in her heart center, and I definitely feel in regards to anything relationship-y, it's kind of bringing balance to that. Our relationships, this can be all kinds of relationships, not just love, because I'm just getting the balance of our relationships. It can be a relationship with oneself as well, because I'm just getting kind of all things heart chakra-ish, which again, May has been that with, if you watched my May readings, that's been that for us. It's basically all been about relationship for most people, or ourselves, but depending on the signs. So this to me is bringing the balance of that, and I feel like what will come up for us is helping us to really balance and refine this for us. I feel like this is the month for refining for us. The final card is extremes. I am going through these quickly because I'm going to keep going through a little bit. Extremes to me is giving me hot passion, and I feel like this is we've started with patience and we're coming to the kind of more actiony vibe, because this is kind of giving me being rash. This is giving me Aries energy. This is giving me passion. It's giving me wanting to jump on things, sexual energy, really charged energy. Now this can bring passion out in all ways, shapes and forms. So this could obviously bring forward miscommunications and that kind of thing, but it's not I'm not channeling that. I'm just feeling passion, really. So I'm taking it as a good vibe. That's the good vibes I'm getting, but I do want to specify that with this energy, because it's that Aries energy, it can be reckless, impulsive, and passionate, and I feel like this is how it's going. It's like something we've been patient for. It feels very connected. So if this is relationship vibe, I feel like perhaps we've been so patient and so well behaved that this is the reward we're seeking, and I feel like we're getting it because our work is being paid off. I really truly do feel, Taurus, that Mercury in retrograde, really, if we've been doing the work and putting it in the work in these areas, you know, being patient, balancing out things where we can, that we are going to be really reaping this positive charged sexual energy. And this is a great one to have in relationship, because I feel like it's kind of It is that coming together of two souls and really appreciating one another. So it's giving me really positive vibes for us. Now I'm going to have a closer look up for us and see what more I can get from all three, because I really am getting them so connected here. We have the patience is paying off in creating balance, and I feel like this has really been needed for us to take it easy in order to reap the benefits of what we are seeking. I feel like we are very goal orientated this year, Taurus, and I am really getting that this is coming together for us. This is the energy I've been feeling for myself, so it really does, you know, filter through to you guys being a Taurus. Hi bugs. Oh, you found chalk. Lovely. I am recording outside, so you probably have all sorts of mowing and things, because of course nobody mows until I'm set to record. So you're probably having all sorts of sounds. Hopefully it's not affecting too much with the mic being right next to me. So yes, I am feeling like really the energies we're getting with Mercury this year is really paying off. I do really want to specify, pay attention to some form of red flag. I feel like something will flag up that needs to be attended to, but it really just feels like this is something we've been working with for some time, so I don't feel like it's going to be something new. It's not going to be shocking. It's literally just keeping doing the work is the vibe here, and I do feel like favourable for us. I won't lie, this feels really lovely. Normally during Mercury retrograde I struggle so badly. It is the planet of communication, and I do think as Tauruses we are very good communicators when it's on our terms, but in regards to sharing feelings and kind of being vulnerable in that way, I feel like it can be quite hard. Obviously it depends on the rest of our birth chart, but I feel like it's hard for us to be vulnerable with others, because we are the strength, we are the ones that hold it together. So it kind of feels like, to me, I feel like when you're being vulnerable with somebody, it really can be kind of worrying how it might affect them more than ourselves, actually. You know, by being vulnerable, it can be shining lights on their negative sides, you know, how they're making you feel. It can be really hard to express, and I do think we need to be aware of that showing our vulnerability, I feel like, could be very positive, because that is creating balance. Because when we keep things to ourselves, you are not being open with somebody, and I really feel like that could perhaps be what the key to this balance is, because it is, again, we are balancing both sides. We are giving and taking in order to be whole within our heart center, and this is what this feels for me. And if I was to apply this to a relationship, which I really do feel like this is for many of us Taurus very relationship vibey, because it's like, you know, you've been patient, carry on being patient to create this balance, in order to reap the reward of that hot sexy times. That's how I'm reading this. I really yeah, it really feels quite nice. So Taurus, yeah, good vibes for us for Mercury in retrograde. I really don't feel like there's a whole lot more I can add to this. It feels like a really good energy to work with. I do hope that this stays on this course, that we've all been putting in the work and everybody is in the same place. I definitely know that myself, I have been going through so many transitions this year, so I am longing for May energy. It is really treating us good, Taurus. So thank you very much. Thank you for checking me out. Please check out your May reading if you haven't already. So thank you very much, Taurus, and I'll see you next month.